VPN at technophilespodcast.com. I'm David Geisler, and this is the Technophiles Podcast. All right, we are back. This is episode 299, part 3. I'm here with V-Lobs, Crystal E. Malone, and Jake Gill. Jake, we're about to talk about your story, a legal firm using Watson as a lawyer, but I thought about something over the break, and I just want to share it real quick. We had a weird conversation over the break about wearing makeup and like newscasts and how actors get used to wearing makeup and how when people aren't an actor and they have to wear makeup for that, it feels weird at first.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But that all reminded me of a quick little project that I did last week, which is why we didn't record the episode. I shot a commercial for a client. That's not actually what I'm talking about, but in that commercial, my character had to fight some ninjas. We're in the middle of a scene, and while they're cutting to reset some of the ninjas because they're jumping out of walls and stuff, and my character's fighting them. One of the ninjas is like, he's like, look, I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. His name's Alex. We'd gotten to know each other. He's one of the flip ninjas. I had like a fight scene with him earlier. He's like, man, do we know each other? I was like, I don't know. You kind of look familiar. He had the familiar looking face. He's like, yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's like your voice or something. I don't know. I just don't know what it is. Long story short.
He's a TPN listener.
He listens to Technophiles podcast.
Oh that is so awesome.
Alex, how you doing?
Hi, Alex.
The ninja that I fought, he said something like, I don't know what it was. I might have said Technophiles. No, I know what it was. We became Facebook friends, and he saw executive producer Tech. He goes, wait, you're on the Technophiles podcast? I was like, yeah, I'm the host. He's like, you guys are on Stitcher. I said, yes. He said, I listened to you.
Oh my
That's
God.
so
He goes,
awesome.
now I know the voice.
Is that like a first? Was this a first?
It's not the first time someone's
All right.
recognized me from the show, but it was just so cool that I spent half a day with this guy, like fake throwing things into his face, and he's doing these awesome like parkour flips.
So
and halfway
sweet.
through the day, we realized that he listens to the show.
Oh,
That's
sweet.
crazy.
And so hopefully he's listening to this, and I just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that, I thought it was
awesome.
kind of
That's
exciting.
awesome.
That's
So-
so dope.
Jake,
Yeah.
let's talk about artificial intelligent lawyers.
Yeah, let's talk about him.
Yeah.
So, all right, there's a firm. Hang on, I don't want
Once
to
upon a
like
time,
stray too far
there
from
was
the
a
mic
firm.
here.
Ooh, I appreciate that.
Baker and Hostetler. They have 50 people. They do bankruptcy law.
5-0.
5-0.
Yep.
Now they're like, hey, we're hiring Ross. So they're the first company, legal firm that is legally licensing Ross, which is a Watson AI, to be on their team as a legal representative of people.
Whoa.
And like
So
maybe
wait,
not
my
only
vision-
him, but
my
like
vision just went to like Ross talking in the courtroom.
I don't know if Ross is going to talk in the courtroom yet.
Like,
But Ross is definitely going to sit in on cases and hearings and do some crazy stuff. So let me get into this a
that's
little bit.
wild.
All right.
God.
So they are not the only firm to license Ross. Ross is through Watson, and this is so Watson. For those of you that are listening, this is IBM's AI project. Recently, they've been doing a lot of work toward pushing more and more of this toward the cloud and accessibility and opening things up. Watson is really smart. One of the things that they kind of boast about Watson is this ability to like deconstruct, like just handle a bunch of volume of language and kind of like turn it back and like dumb it down, and just not even dumb it down really, but just
Pull out
Suss
the-
it
make
out.
things conversational, deal with it, look at things. So
Yeah.
so legal firms are like, wow, this is really interesting. How do we use this? So their idea is that you would sit in with your lawyers, right? Okay, this is bankruptcy law, but we can probably apply this to anything eventually. So I ask a question in English. Hey, what is, this? How does this happen? Whatever. And Ross is listening. So now Ross goes through as it's listening to these questions, and it reads every single law document ever on the topic. And then it starts postulating hypotheses based on percentages calculated by, well, in this ruling, things went this way, blah, blah, blah. So it factors all of this in, and then it spits it back out to you with a like generated response that's like, hey, I'm 95% certain that this is going to fall in this way in the court or whatever. And then it gives you it in non-legal speak. Yeah. So it takes it and is like, well, I'm just going to delegalize all of this stuff that I just said and make it so that you can understand.
It's like
Whoa.
Data once he gets the emotion chip.
Mhm.
Oh,
No, I'm just joking.
that's
But it is a
That
little bit like a
last-
Data where you can just see, be like, I'm 82% sure we will
So
not.
yeah. So I mean, and that's kind of what Watson does anyways. So
Yeah.
like in this legal sense, the other crazy thing that they're talking about is that Ross can be on the legal wires 24/7. So anytime there is a ruling anywhere in the, probably in the country or wherever you're practicing,
oh yeah.
if it relates, now all of a sudden it is instantly a relevant part of your case because now they know it.
Yeah.
And they don't have to wait
Found
for
it.
anything.
Did this law firm have to pay an arm and a leg?
I have no idea. I do not have
Holy
those
Because the
details.
value
So this
here-
was from
The
Future-
value of
this was
that
on
Ross-
Futurism, and I don't know, but this is. I mean, this is the first firm though that I've ever heard of that has they have an R&D head of tech department. And so let me just find the
What?
quote here.
Sure.
It's really interesting.
That's so wild.
All right, their chief information, so CIO, the chief information officer, Bob Craig, explains the rationale behind their hire. I mean, they're saying that they're hiring this person, so presumably there's a fee associated with this, right?
Right.
At Baker Hostetler, we believe in emerging technologies like cognitive computing and other forms of machine learning can help enhance the services we deliver to our clients.
Right.
So that's the big thing here too, is that machine learning, the cognitive abilities, this thing is only going to get smarter the more it practices law.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It's
they're kind of
just
using it. It's
they're hiring another mind.
They're hiring way more than another mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're hiring a
Yeah.
library.
They're
They're,
hiring-
oh my
Yeah.
god.
Right.
That's
Right.
true.
And then every other library that has ever put anything digitally.
And
you
a
know
library
what I mean?
that updates itself
yeah,
and
it's
can
freaking
can
nuts. Exactly. With
understandable.
every push, API update, whatever there's updating, right now, this thing just has more information.
Mm-hmm.
That is so
It's
wild.
so insane.
Oh my gosh.
It seems it's totally conceivable from a technology point of view, letting a single law firm have access to this.
Well, so it's not just a single law firm though. There's good, like I said before, there are many law firms that are licensing the rights to Ross.
Okay.
They are the first to announce.
Okay,
There will be more.
Got it.
They are not alone.
Got it. Because I was like, this is like superhero stuff for that one group.
Yeah,
then.
no.
If this
They're
is the
just
same
they're
way
just
that-
the first.
so
They're
now
the first
law
mover
firms
here, as
can-
far as I understand.
Yeah, they purchased a copy machine. They purchased a couple computers.
Now
they
they
purchased a
purchased
Ross.
Ross.
Yeah, I see.
Wow. So how is it applied? Physically? How do they interact with it?
I
what is
don't
the
have that
process?
information.
You
Well,
have-
probably mostly vocal, right? I mean, they
Yeah.
probably type stuff
I would
as well.
assume because
but-
that's how
But it's
Watson
mostly
works.
vocal. I mean,
Watson's-
they talk a lot about how it's another lawyer in the room,
right.
Man.
Yeah,
so it's just
Like-
listening.
Yeah,
they mentioned that you can talk to it in plain English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can do
So-
that. They demonstrate that a lot with Watson.
Yeah.
So since they're related, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
wasn't there a catch? I don't want to derail us. Wasn't there a catch that when Watson played Jeopardy, they had to pre-feed the questions to him or something like that as text, not as
Ooh.
audio,
Oh.
like in the beginning? I don't know.
Maybe
I
that
don't
was
wanna-
early Watson.
yeah, early stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
probably later Watson.
Or
has
maybe
figured
it
the
was
stuff
maybe
out.
that's inaccurate. Maybe it was when they were doing test runs in the lab. That's how they were doing it because they would play all those mock Jeopardy games
Oh,
before
that's
it went on
right.
real Jeopardy.
Mhm.
I'm not sure, but
So-
Ross.
I have a question I would like to put out at the table. So if they're doing this, it's not the most surface benefit that I see, not being a lawyer, but they charge by the hour, right? So it seems like Ross could do a lot of background research in a very short period of time. I'm wondering if they could actually speed up the turnaround of cases. Like a law firm would need less time to prepare. If on the
Probably.
consumer side, this could also actually mean more affordable legal representation because they would have to pay for fewer hours,
Yeah.
which I just want to throw in doesn't necessarily mean that the law firm would make less money because they could just take on more cases, right?
Because I was going to say, this feels like a lose-lose if you're trying to make money. If you're charging by the hour, you spend a bunch of money on this thing that helps you go quicker
Mhm.
to make you less money.
Right,
Yeah, but if you win more cases, then
right,
you get more
exactly.
clients.
If you're
There it is.
right.
And
So you could just
that's the bigger arc.
right. You could just take on more clients,
Yep.
but that could be a win-win because then the law firm can still make tons of money,
Mhm.
but then clients are still affordable.
Yeah,
But I'm all assuming that this would actually, I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know, is research really the bulk of their time or is
I
the
think
bulk of
there's
their
a lot
time?
of
it
stuff.
is.
Whatever. I'm sure there's a lot
you'll
of
hear
stuff.
about just they hire extra teams just to take care of
Yeah.
research.
And
Sure.
this sounds like it could be almost like a team unto itself.
Yeah, it sounds like
my
it's a
gosh.
team plus way more. I mean, the other thing too is that they were talking about that this thing, okay, you ask it a question, you ask a follow-up question, right? So now it goes through and it starts generating citations of where it got
Mhm.
this.
Right.
Hey, this is based on this ruling from whatever. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer either.
Right.
What I think is interesting here, though, is now I want to take this 15 years in the future, 10 years in
give
the
it to the
future.
whales.
Give it to the whales. No, I mean,
Whales
okay,
sue us
if
for
we
pollution.
if Ross is good at what it does, and we develop this, and Watson develops more, and whatever, eventually, do we never have to worry about someone needing a lawyer ever? I just
what
got
I'm
arrested.
wondering.
Now I just pull out my phone. Hang on, let me get my lawyer.
Yeah.
Put it on the
Blicker, 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 blicker.
boom. Speak to Ross.
Whoa. That is true.
Isn't that insane?
And if it was like affordable, because like according to I think it was the Washington Post, like that I'm reading right now, or Tech Insider, 80% of Americans can't afford lawyers.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Believe they can't afford lawyers.
Sure. I don't need one.
I mean, there's.
And I mean, even
Thank
if you
God I don't
need,
need
even
one.
if you did have a lawyer, like let's say you're a public defender and you're like, I need help. Okay,
Yeah.
now you have Ross.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is a game changer.
Holy.
This is insane.
It's crazy. It's gonna. Yeah.
But okay,
It's gonna change. The game,
here's a
but-
question, and I'm totally taking this kind of like meme from, news media. Maybe it's not even really true, but you hear stories sometimes of like clogged courthouses, right? People don't get a speedy trial because the courthouse can't schedule them.
Mm-hmm.
Might this actually make that worse because the lawyers will be set and ready,
because
but you
now
don't
there's
have
going
enough
to be
judges.
there's going to be Judge Ross, and he's just going to handle your case.
Or maybe.
Whoa.
Or maybe less time is okay. So
I mean, how many of these cases do we really need to go to court for if you have like your argument set?
I think
Mhm.
a lot of them are just kind of it's just technical.
So now if Ross can do this, why can't Ross be a judge?
Yeah,
Okay,
but
that's kind of creepy,
You just-
but
that's
you
a little creepy
process
because
your
then
court hearing
because the
in,
one
like,
thing
a
that judges
second.
often do is they'll bring back the human element.
yeah,
it's almost their
that's true.
job.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
right. And you also have, I mean, depending on the type of case, juries.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's also going
But I'm
to,
assuming that
Ross juries.
So
No,
let's
joking.
just say that I'm just speculating here, but I would assume that most of these court cases, like bankruptcy cases, are not going to trial. Right?
Yeah, no.
So
I
right
don't
now,
think so.
it's. I mean, we've got way ahead of this story, but
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
right now, it is the ultimate research assistant, like legal aid ever. Plus, like he's probably, Ross is probably a lawyer
Yeah.
as well, but like he can just do everything for you. So this firm, they have 50 people. Well, now they have like, I don't
60.
know, maybe this is like 10, 15 extra
150.
people. You know what I mean?
Guys, are you kidding me? Every single document that exists in real time, that's like 1 million people. I don't think you can hire that
Yeah.
many people.
That's
Well, it has to
To
all
have
be
that kind of
digitized
turnaround.
and things like that, though,
Mhm.
right? So there's
Yeah.
there's that process.
Yeah, but
there are
to
restrictions.
Say, Russ, has this ever happened before? And then
Oh, yeah, no,
Ross
that's
goes,
insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's in 5 accounts. It's done
So
this.
this-
and
I mean,
I think the
this
probability is
can't be
Have you
cheap,
considered
though.
this?
No.
That's
This
that
license has
answer-
to be insanely
That
expensive.
answer
right
that I
now.
just pretended Ross gave someone, I think it's very conceivable that would take weeks for a team of lawyers.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
You know-
instead, like Ross can kind of figure it out, give them the
But I mean,
information,
that is-
and they can spend more time, like just more like
Right.
fine tuning their argument.
And guys, but that's the reality of Watson in general, right?
Right.
That is like, so I watched inside of this article that I found this in, they also had this video at the end where IBM was talking. It was a Watson ad, but it was like, we need you, right? Like we need you to interact with Watson and deal with Watson and stuff. But like, and Google Assistant, I covered this on my newscast last week. They're all trying to do the same thing, was essentially just like, they want unfettered access to our brains and us talking to them and interacting with them so that they can get smarter and they can just start predicting what we need.
Right.
True, but then you run into problems like that one Twitter AI bot. Remember we talked about it a
Oh,
few
Became
months
racist
ago.
or something?
Yeah, it became
racist,
like racist,
homophobic,
and- yeah,
sexist,
because
neo-Nazi.
people were purposefully trying to.
Well,
They
sure.
were feeding
mess
it with
up.
yeah. Well, that was a very like
Excuse
basic.
me.
That was
Whoa,
a,
hey,
hey, buddy.
Well,
You
he's getting a little
thirsty?
treat
That's okay,
now.
fine,
It's his
whatever.
now.
I got a beer.
Though that Twitter AI was very basic and
No,
just
he
kind
got
of
a
what's like a regurgitation AI where it's just like, hey, tell me things and I'll say them back.
Yeah, there was a loophole on that one,
There
Crystal Lee,
was.
where you could have it just repeat things.
But I mean, that's
No,
like,
I know, but I'm just saying when you ask people to feed your AI, you cannot. The people in general will not give it only what is good for it.
of course,
Mhm.
but eventually that cute factor is just not fun anymore for them,
Right.
and then real people that actually want to do real things will
Mhm.
take over. And
Right.
Sure. That's
You know
why
what
you
I mean?
don't release it on Twitter.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, think about it. Okay, how much easier would your PhD dissertation have been if you could be like, hey, Watson,
Oh yeah, I want.
can you
Oh,
pull
yeah.
up like every single game related article from the past 10 years that has to do with whatever. And then it's like, here, Crystal Lee, here's all of them with your APA, like your Chicago style citations already ready for you.
Oh.
Yes, I mean, I absolutely
Like-
I already had that thought, and I wanted one, of course.
How much time is wasted doing crap that we don't need to do?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Just mitigate that.
the
Busy
big.
work.
The thing is, though, as academic access works right now, it would not be that big of a help because paywalls are a bigger problem. But if paywalls got taken down,
Well, we just need
then-
to disrupt that then.
right, then having this would be perfect. But yes, I would love, like, if this.
That's a technicality.
But
Became
even, I mean,
available.
okay, so there's a
Yeah, yeah,
paywall,
yeah.
but like if you had your AI, you could be like, all right, well, I'm going to pay the paywall and then, give my AI access.
Yeah, I think
like-
different. I think
or whatever,
single
just go
articles
and
will have paywalls, but we're getting caught
Yeah,
up
whatever,
here.
yeah,
a little,
anyways.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
at the end
yeah.
of the day, you're correct.
whole
I would
systemic
want
thing.
one.
I mean, I think like the reality here is this legal firm is got a good idea, and I think that
yes.
what we're all we're going to see in the future, and this is V brought this up, like we can't not talk about AI, and I
Yeah.
just think that the reality is that more and more industries are realizing the uses of Watson and other AIs like it, and we are just going to see insane things happening
Yes.
in the next few years, and it's so exciting.
Few years. Like we're probably still going to be doing this show while this happens.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. No, and these are happening every day. I feel like there's something new that's like
This isn't like
Watson
this
has
isn't
done
our
this
kids
now.
Yeah.
will like
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
No,
This is-
No, I actually suspected that I could get access to something like this for my research before I retire.
Oh,
Like
probably.
that is
I think way before then.
Mhm.
I mean, I think you'll have a tricorder before you retire.
I could see like AIs replacing search engines. Like that's
Absolutely.
probably the next step is that instead of like going to Google, you just ask your AI a question.
I mean,
instead of
but
doing
it'll probably
research.
still be called Google, right?
Of course.
I'm
like
fine.
Brandon,
Well, right now it's
whatever.
called Google Now.
But
Yeah,
like
you would-
you,
I mean,
you
just-
won't have
we
to like
just don't
type
have to
in
type
words.
anymore.
Yeah, but it'll just become that like seamless.
Yeah.
where it's just like talking to a person.
Ever since I saw the Google Home like announcement, I just like it's all I can think about. Every time I have to ask Siri a follow-up question where I like have to like dumb it down again for her,
Oh.
I'm like, just give me Google Assistant
Yes.
already.
Oh, God.
I'm
little
so
bit.
done. Like
Dude.
just like
Has
Yeah.
Siri
like
figured
Siri,
out
why are you not listening to me right now and talking to me?
Has Siri figured out pronouns yet?
I have to train some of them,
Okay.
right? But like,
Well, like for example, my Google thing will be like, "Hey, who's the president? Who's his wife?"
Hmm.
Siri doesn't always get that,
yeah,
but Google will be like, "It's Michelle Obama."
Yeah.
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
Siri's lagging.
I use Siri all the time when I'm driving. Like,
Sure.
if I'm not driving, I don't use Siri too much. If I'm
Mhm.
driving, it's totally what are my missed text messages? What's my schedule for today? What are my reminders I still need to do? Have I gotten any emails in the last 20 minutes?
Mhm.
Like, I do that, hey Siri, hey Siri, hey Siri. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, once I get home, I don't really use Siri.
Huh.
Because past really just checking things, there's
Right,
not
it's not
much
very good.
there.
So I mean, I personally, I think that the next phone decision I make or whatever is going to be who has the best support as far as
yeah.
assistance
Right.
and listening and whatever else that I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Super useful.
We got to get out of here, guys. This is very interesting, very
Yes.
exciting. It was a pleasure to get back with you all. Technophiles has almost, like TPN has almost been off for these past 2 weeks.
Mhm.
It's been a little crazy. So, I had to put lights back up in the studio that weren't there. It was a lot of fun. I think we're coming back for our regular scheduled show next week.
Do we have like a big
Yeah.
bash going on?
next week?
It's 300.
I know. I don't know. I was thinking about it. Do you guys want to do something different? Do you want to do a show like?
We'll have to brainstorm.
We'll
Yeah.
think it through.
It's
I
gonna be the
kinda
same
wanna
show, but
change
we're in party
locations.
hats.
Like we've done special episodes at restaurants before and stuff like that. We do have a few of those in our repertoire in our history. We could consider that. We can think about it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we'll just be meeting here.
And we'll
In a week.
wear fancy hats.
We'll wear fancy hats. 300 though, that is pretty intense.
Can we like fend off an invading army of
I was
Facebook followers that are
Uh-huh.
asking us questions or something?
So you mean like?
I was
wait,
gonna
what are you
say
actually
like we
saying?
all dressed up like Spartans. We wore red capes.
I don't know if you guys can handle this 18 pack of beer. I mean, 6 pack of abs.
What are we talking about?
The
300?
300.
David, the movie?
Oh, I never saw the movie,
Oh, okay. Well,
but I'm aware of it.
Oh, okay.
Zack Snyder, not so much
Yeah.
for me.
He kicked a
It
guy
was
into a
fine.
hole.
I
in
liked
that movie.
his Dawn
A
of the
dude.
Dead, and that was about where it stopped for
Yeah.
me with Zack.
anyways,
Yeah.
that was the reference.
That was
Got it. Got it.
We'll get matching
Well, we
shields.
can figure it out. Maybe we'll do something. Maybe we won't. I don't know. It almost worked out that episode 300 was going to be our mid-season finale. But I think it's not quite. It's going to be 3-1, 3-2, something like that. I don't know. We can think
okay.
it through. I don't think we want to recap anything.
Everything will just be like 299B, 299C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
We'll just
stretching
do
it out.
B
sequels to this
dash 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. until
Well,
we
we'll
get
talk about
on a
it. We'll
nice
talk about
spot.
it on Twitter and on
Yeah.
Facebook because we got to get going because we're still rolling. Jake, thank you very much for bringing a number of these stories today.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little chatty. This beer, man.
It's fun to do a loose episode once in a while.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, yeah, this was loose, but like we covered some
Good stuff.
serious stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can find me if you guys want to talk about Ross or AI or how we get.
They can find you on Twitter.
how the whales get legal representation.
Yeah.
it is whale.
Yeah, you can talk to me at Critical Owl.
Fantastic. I was in the middle of a drink.
Plug.
Did you hear it go?
I heard the plug.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got like a little drip by that one.
Yeah.
Crystalie Malone, people can find you on Twitter at
They can find me at GamerAnthro.
Fantastic, and they can talk to you about what happened with Facebook Live streaming,
Yes,
things like that.
yes.
Maybe they
About play in
can
space.
recommend some books
Yeah.
for sci-fi science and stuff like that. We've been getting,
Yeah, sure.
we got a request. We got a couple of requests on sci-fi science about doing Three Body Problem 2, whatever that one's called.
Oh boy.
Yes, we do have a couple of requests that.
we
Four body
do they have
problem.
an English translation already?
We're
We're just gonna all read it in Chinese.
You're gonna read it to us in Chinese.
That's the episode. You
Story time with Jake.
Yes.
just- well, anyway,
Yeah.
very cool. People can tweet you there at, what was it, GamerAnthro.
At GamerAnthro.
And VLobs.
If you want to talk about what copyright laws being contested between Ross and Magenta,
Nice.
they can hit me up at bear_Annika.
Fantastic. We love it when people tweet the show at Technophiles Pod. They can also find us on iTunes, Facebook, Stitcher, and YouTube by searching Technophiles Podcast, or go to our actual website, technophilespodcast.com. That's it, guys. I had a great time. See you next week. It's nice to be kind of back in the saddle
Yeah.
here.
It is.
Rolling again. Until then, people can tweet me on Twitter at RaptorPaint. Have a good night.